Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. We are going to talk about CBT for daily life. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, is a widely used form of psychotherapy that is very effective in treating many mental health conditions. It's often used to treat depression, anxiety, OCD, eating disorders, addiction, PTSD, and the list goes on. And while CBT can be really helpful when it's used in conjunction with a therapist, it can also be used in your everyday life to help you think more positively and help you become more aware of negative thought, patterns, and behaviors that may be holding you back. If you'd like to learn how to use CBT in your daily life, keep watching because we'll walk through some examples together. If you're new here, we provide weekly content on mental health and wellness, so remember to join our growing community. Let's get started. Number 1. CBT for daily life. Identify your negative thoughts. The first step to practicing CBT in your daily life is learning how to identify your negative thoughts. You can start by asking yourself questions like, how am I feeling right now? What are some negative thoughts that may be contributing to this feeling? When you notice negative thoughts, write them down. You can keep a journal specifically for this purpose or simply write them down on a piece of paper. Taking note of these thoughts will help you become more aware of them and help you stop them from taking over your entire mood. Once you've identified a negative thought, move on to the next step, which is to evaluate the thought. Is it really true? Is there any evidence to support this thought? And what would happen if you believed this thought? Number 2. CBT for daily life. Evaluate your thoughts. After identifying your negative thoughts, take some time to evaluate them. Ask yourself things like, is this thought helpful? Does it motivate you to do things that are in your best interest? Does it help you see the big picture? If the answer is no, then it's likely that the thought is not helpful and could be leading to negative emotions. Keep in mind that not all negative thoughts are bad. Sometimes having negative thoughts can help you stay motivated or focused. For example, thinking about how messy your house is can motivate you to clean it. So before you jump to conclusions and try to change your negative thoughts into positive ones, make sure that they're not serving a purpose. Number 3. CBT for daily life. Recognize cognitive distortions. Now that you know how to identify and evaluate your thoughts, you can begin to recognize cognitive distortions, which are ways of thinking that can cause you to make negative judgments about yourself, others, or the world around you. Some common cognitive distortions include filtering, which is focusing only on the negative details and ignoring the positive ones, jumping to conclusions, making assumptions without considering other explanations, labeling, which is assigning global characteristics to yourself based on one or a few experiences, mental filtering, focusing on the negative details and ignoring the positive ones, and overgeneralization, making sweeping statements about the future based on past experiences. The good news is that once you become aware of these cognitive distortions, you can start to challenge them. This can be done by asking yourself questions like, am I overlooking any positive information? Or am I jumping to conclusions without considering other possibilities? Number 4. CBT for daily life. Challenge your thoughts. Now that you've identified your negative thoughts and evaluated them, it's time to challenge them. To do this, ask yourself questions like, is this thought realistic? What evidence do I have to support it? What would I tell a friend who had this thought? By challenging your thoughts, you'll be able to identify any cognitive distortions that may be contributing to your negative emotions. Once you've identified your cognitive distortions, it's time to move on to the next step, which is to replace your negative thoughts with more positive ones. Number 5. CBT for daily life. Replace negative thoughts with positive ones. Replacing negative thoughts with positive ones can be challenging, but it's important to try. Start by thinking of a situation where you had a negative thought. Then ask yourself, what would be a more balanced way of thinking about this situation? What would be a positive thought that could help me feel better? Once you've come up with a few positive thoughts, choose the one that makes the most sense and use it whenever you find yourself thinking negatively about a situation. Keep in mind that it may take time for you to replace your negative thoughts with positive ones. Be patient with yourself and practice self-compassion. Number 6. CBT for daily life. Develop a behavioral activation plan. Another way to practice CBT in your daily life is by developing a behavioral activation plan. Behavioral activation is a treatment approach used in CBT to help people with depression or other mood disorders engage in activities that are enjoyable and meaningful to them. To develop a behavioral activation plan, start by identifying activities that you used to enjoy or that you've always wanted to try. Then make a plan to engage in these activities on a regular basis. It's also important to be prepared for setbacks. If you miss a day or two of engaging in your activities, don't get discouraged. Just get back on track as soon as you can. Number 7. CBT for daily life. Set realistic goals. Setting realistic goals is another important part of practicing CBT in your daily life. When you set unrealistic goals, you're setting yourself up for failure. This can lead to negative emotions and feelings of hopelessness. To avoid this, make sure that your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, instead of saying I want to be happier, say I want to feel happy 80% of the time. Then create a plan to achieve your goal. This might involve making lifestyle changes such as getting more exercise or spending time with loved ones. or it might involve seeking professional help. Number 8. CBT for daily life. Practice self-monitoring is an important part of CBT because it helps you become more aware of your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. By monitoring yourself, you can identify any negative thought patterns or behaviors that are contributing to your problems. Once you've identified these patterns, you can take steps to change them. There are several ways to monitor yourself. You can keep a journal to track your thoughts and feelings, or use a smartphone app. You can also ask a friend or family member to help you monitor yourself. Number 9. CBT for daily life. Use thought stopping. Thought stopping is a technique used in CBT to break negative thought patterns. It can be especially helpful if you have intrusive thoughts that make you feel uncomfortable. To practice thought stopping, identify the negative thought that you want to stop having. Then create a plan to stop the thought. This might involve repeating a mantra silently in your head or visualizing a positive image. Once you've created your plan, practice it every time you find yourself thinking the negative thought. It may take some time for you to stop thinking the thought, but don't give up. Keep practicing and eventually you'll be able to stop the thought pattern. Number 10. CBT for daily life. Reward yourself for progress. Finally, make sure to reward yourself for your progress along the way. This will help you stay motivated and make it more likely that you will stick with your new thought and behavior patterns. There are many ways to reward yourself. Choose something that's meaningful to you. It could be as simple as giving yourself a pat on the back or treating yourself to something special. We hope that these tips have been helpful to you. Remember that CBT is a powerful tool that can be used to improve your mental health and well. With practice, you can learn to use CBT to challenge your negative thoughts and develop healthier coping mechanisms. If you need additional support, don't hesitate to reach out to a mental health professional. Thanks for watching and see you next time.